The team news for this one, Dundee United giving a home debut to their keeper signed from Queen's Park Rangers Steve Dykstra. Stephen Pressley recalled to try to bolster up the defence against the club where he started, Glasgow Rangers, and a fair sprinkling of foreign talent imported over the last couple of months by the new boss there, Tommy McLean. Rangers still have a lengthy injury list, but they did recall Cleland and Petric to the defence after injury. Richard Gough starting against Dundee United, one of his former clubs here, and Ali McCoist hoping to extend his goal-scoring record, having become the record goal scorer in post-war league history last weekend. The action from Tannadice, watched by Gordon Smith and Martin Tyler.
Willie Young is the referee, and he's got a delay on his hands because the Dundee United goalkeeper, Steve Dykstra, has come across, maybe a problem with the gloves, I don't know, come across to the dugout. Now he's sorted himself out. It's his second game for the club, his home debut. Of course, Tommy McLean knew all about him. They were together at Motherwell, and then Dykstra had a spell in England with Queen's Park Rangers. So Rangers kick off. They're flying high in the league. They're trying to keep their feet on the ground. With so much speculation about how much further they will be in front when Celtic next play. Early work for Goram from Zetterlund, the experienced Swede, who hit that one very well indeed in this brisk opening Dundee United attack.
Yeah, it was a super strike because it came to him very quickly. Normally most players might have just stopped that ball, but good to take it early. It came through a ruck of players and might have caused Andy Goram problems, especially if it got a little deflection.
David Robertson, pressed by Bowman. Dundee United throw. And now a free kick because Winters is wrestled to the ground by Craig Moore.
Yeah, he's a tricky customer, Winters. Very, very pacey. He'll be making a lot of runs just in behind the Rangers fullbacks because they're pushed forward into midfield areas.
Drops from Malpass, and that looks as though it might have been bound for the far corner. We'll never know. Robertson. Well, Tommy McLean was talking about being a little bit cautious at home. The home form hasn't been good, and he's seen what has happened to Celtic when they've gone gung-ho at Rangers, been picked off on the counter-attack. That was an expansive effort from the new record holder, Ali McCoist.
Good burst there by Rangers. All started on the left-hand side. Lovely play between Gascoigne and Laudrup, then opened it up, and McCoist doing exactly the right thing there. Getting his eye in early, getting a strike on goal. It's all about the averages and law of averages for Ali McCoist. He knows if he gets so many efforts on goal, he'll score a fair percentage of them.
There's Pedersen making sure the ball didn't reach Brian Laudrup. The move is really designed to keep Laudrup under wraps on the Dundee United left. If he wanders to the other side, there'll be others taking on the responsibility, we feel. But here's McLaren. Olofsson, who's settled in very quickly with 4 goals in 6 appearances, but he hasn't yet scored on his new home ground. Cleland, who knows all about Tannadice, as does Petric, who had a couple of seasons here when he initially came into the Scottish game. Petric, Gough and Moore, the 3 at the back. No great surprise in Walter Smith's strategy so far. Cleland. Now this is where Dundee United are starting to set out their stall. And say to Rangers, right, you come and try and take us on, and maybe we'll counter-attack at you, Gordon.
Yeah, I think that it looks that way. Very, very wily manager Toy McLean, and he won't want to send his team out to have done to them what Rangers have been doing recently to, first of all, Celtic and then Aberdeen. He'll want to get people back behind the ball, make it difficult for Rangers to open them up.
McCoist. Laudrup beaten to it by Pedersen. Olofsson trying to take it on the burst. And then Zetterlund couldn't quite wrap his left foot around the ball and angle it across to Winters, who was running down the inside right channel. Malpass. Dundee United through and through. Olofsson nicely touched off to his fellow striker Robbie Winters, looking for McLaren.
Lovely ball
ideas
as well.
from the home side.
Lovely ball and diagonally ball to the back post there, and very unlucky not to get on the end of that one there, but just well cleared in the end up, leaving it for Gorham to come and collect. But a good break from Dundee United. Exactly the sort of thing we were talking about earlier, Martin, sitting in there and quickly turning defence into attack.
Well, he suddenly got some freedom. Pedersen was nowhere around, whether he'd lost his concentration or left it to others. And Laudrup, who is obviously so capable of turning any match in a twinkle.
Yeah, the big problem with Laudrup is it's all very well to think you can man-for-man mark him, Martin, but he's so pacey. He can pick the ball up. If he gets a yard off you, he can go away from you first, turn onto you and just leave you standing. He is very, very quick, and with the sort of ability he's got, he's going to cause any defender problems.
Good hold-up play from Winters. And there's Rushmore aside as well, but the Australian stuck to it. Throw to United. And Dave Bowman without the long golden locks these days. Out by Goff. Another, of course, from Dundee United to make a mark at Rangers. There's been an amazing interweaving between these two clubs, really, when you think of the managers tonight. Tommy McLean, a great Rangers player. Walter Smith served Dundee United as player and coach for almost 20 years. McLaren. Here's Stephen Pressley. Might be just a little economical in his work tonight. He's answered the call when he's needed. This is nice work between McLaren and Zetterlund, and well, they had two in the box either side of Petric. If the cross had picked either out. Of course, it wasn't that long ago, just over a couple of years, when Dundee United won the Scottish Cup by beating Rangers. A few survivors from that game on the pitch tonight. And McLaren had a particularly fine match.
They certainly did. They seemed to struggle after that cup win the next season. Was when they went down, but it was quite a surprise. Most people thought they would have built on that cup win and become one of the top sides.
Instead, a year later they were relegated. They come back at the first attempt via the playoff system. Doesn't matter how you do it, as long as you do it. That's the feeling here. And Malpass going with McCoist. Cleland. Petric, and played McInnes into trouble, really. Bowman came in. Olofsson, who came from a Norwegian club, Moss, but is actually a Swede who married a Norwegian girl and went to build his private life and his personal life in Norway. It's the first time he's ever played as a full-time professional. He's 31 now. He's made a good start with Dundee United, but here's Cleland and Laudrup. Dykstra able to come and get it. Malpass was shepherding the ball back to him.
A good free-flowing game so far. A lot of nice passes on the ground, people trying to open the opposition up by keeping it down there, and Dundee United, this surface here at Tannadice has always been good for that sort of football, man. It's always been a top of the ground surface, and it lends itself to try and play that way.
Malpass. Paul Gascoigne got that sort of reception when he came out for the warm-up as well. You never know quite whether it's going to niggle with him. And now the referee is giving the free kick to Dundee United.
I think it was a bit of both, actually, and you would have thought, if anything, the ball's got to go to the man who's actually on the ball and shielding it. Both players had a hold of each other's garments at that point, but Gascoigne, I think, was blindside. The referee didn't see it.
Well, he's having a word with Willie Young in passing. Gascoigne going again. McCoist, but easily spotted the turn by Presley. Winters, who fancies his chances against Craig Moore. He's begun very confidently.
Yeah, he's a sharp player. He likes to turn defenders, likes to get beyond them very quickly, and you know, he's played wide a lot of his time, so he's well used to getting out into those wide areas and taking players on.
Just got the nod tonight ahead of yet another former Rangers player here at Dundee United, Gary McSwegan, who's one of the substitutes. Olofsson. Very useful in the air, got up well, but rather plopped it down. Whether he thought someone might be coming in to round it all off, but there was no one in Tangerine anticipating the direction of the header. Petric. Now Moore. Robertson making a typical dart down the left, leaving a bit of space that Laudrup is filling, and he's Bowman closest to him on this side of the pitch. Laudrup still gets the cross in. And Dykstra, who's got height on his side, hardly had anything to do on his debut at Kilmarnock on Saturday.
It's a good keeper. Tommy McLean used him at Motherwell to come out for almost everything. Anything come into the box, let the keeper come and get it, and the defenders got well used to that in the end up, because with that sort of height, you imagine they should take everything in there. And just looking at the way Dundee United have set up, they're definitely picking Laudrup up in the wide areas, but not with the same player. It's Bowman gets him when he's on the left-hand side for Rangers, and Peterson gets him when he comes over to the right. So it's a very clever system, and Tom McLean doesn't want to disrupt his back players too much.
Winters doing the pursuing, but it is a goal kick. So Tommy McLean is well versed at putting sides out in these big matches against the big Glasgow clubs, hoping that his own appreciation of perhaps the best way to stop Rangers taking you apart is going to come out on top. It's working so far. It's early days. McInnes. The spare man for a moment was Moore. Laudrup, there's Bowman. And he does enough to make sure Laudrup's pass doesn't reach the pushing on figure of David Robertson. Gascoigne. Now Petric. got a good record in terms of not losing recently, Dundee United. Just one defeat in 9, and that brings its own sort of confidence, even though they haven't been playing particularly well at home. There's Olofsson again, showing that he really can be a danger in the air, and now he's hooked it back in, and there's no one wanting to make an aerial challenge in support of him. Robertson. Ladbrokes certainly had some room to run into if that had got through. Another jump from Olofsson. I think he touched the ball with his hand.
Gets up well, Olofsson, very competitive as well. He goes and attacks it, and it looks like a ploy that Dundee United have thought that they can work here, is to switch the ball diagonally as much as they can into that area, so they can go and head it back across goal for the quicker players, the nippy players like McLaren and Winters, so they can get on the end of them.
Here's Cleland. Rangers ball. Mark Perry doing the pointing. Pushing being done by Ian Ferguson. It's amazing, you know, Gordon, 3 games ago, Rangers went to Celtic, level on points, behind them on goal difference. But what a change in the situation since then.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, and I mean, it just shows you people are already talking about the fact that Rangers could go 17 points clear at the top. But when they were talking about the possibility of Celtic going 9, it just didn't happen. And it's very difficult to go out and win all these sort of games. But this is a real test for Rangers tonight. It's away from home against Dundee United, who are going well. They're well organised at the moment. They're up for this match, there's no doubt about it. They're playing a clever system, but it's all about the first goal. If Rangers get the first goal, Dundee United would probably have to change their tactics.
Well done, Sir.
Perry with the throw. 2 or 3 to aim at. Good movement from the home side. Back with Perry again. And this kick by Cullen, and it led to him balking the player who'd taken the throw. And Mark Perry will make his way into the centre as Dundee United try to make something of this free kick. Pedersen. That's wide of Presley, even if he'd been 100% fit, which he's not.
I think it was the right ball for him to play in there, man. I think that he never really got MD peeling out into the wider area in order to get on the end of it, but it was the only ball he possibly had on.
Moore, oh, he's taken his eyes off the ball, and the shot from Winters could have been better, but all praise for his chasing. Craig Moore lost his concentration. He didn't get too much help here, probably feel from his teammates, and the Rangers could easily have found themselves a goal down here.
Yeah, he's claiming he didn't get a shout there, but when it was taken off him, really I thought it was a good opportunity that McLaren had there if he just pushed on a little bit further.
McLaren's cross. There's Olofsson winning the ball again. And I should remind you, if you didn't see the goals that Rangers conceded at the weekend, a couple of them were from far post headers. Pedersen playing for a penalty and not getting one. And the Rangers players, 4 or 5 of them surrounding him and the referee and saying, hang on a minute, that's not the way to play the game over here.
I think he did play for that. I think he was looking, he could have actually got on the end of it, I feel, if he had already beaten Petric.
That's a great touch by McCoist, and it could have been the opening goal for Moore. Good stop by Dijkstra. McInally for Pedersen again. Winters. Goff did enough. Robertson. And McCoist having angled one beautiful ball off, couldn't quite do the same for Gascoigne's run. It wouldn't have created such a good chance as the earlier one.
Yeah, he just mistimed that little pass there. It had to be a deft touch there because Gascoigne was on the run. A terrific run out the midfield area, through behind beyond the striking position, and McCoist didn't fulfil the whole move there by putting the pass in his path.
Malpass. Zetterlund took that beautifully on the half turn. Winters. Oh, and it's too long for Olofsson, but there's potential in Dundee United's play. There's no doubt about that. Halfway through the first half. Well, Rangers would never have come here expecting an easy ride, and they're not getting one.
Well, he's waited until the ball's going out of play, basically, to book his man, because I think that's all to do with the Pedersen going over, diving at for a penalty kick, and I think he's booking him now
for ungentlemanly conduct.
Yeah. Bit belated, a bit soft really in a lot of ways, but if you're going to try a penalty, I'd like to see.
Here's Moore. Ferguson. McCoist. Now Gascoigne. Lucky ricochet for McInnes. McCoist goes to the near post, gets in front. It's one of his great trademarks, his movement in the box. Other lesser forwards, flat-footed at times in the centre, but McCoist, well, you don't have to be the absolute quickest around if you think quicker than your marker.
Yeah, that's what he is at his best there. You saw him just getting blindside of Maurice Malpass to begin with. That's the trademark of a great striker who gets beyond the other side of the ball, so as soon as the defender's looking at the ball, he can then make his run. That's certainly what he did. Didn't get any power or direction on it though.
Maurice Malpass is a coach here as well as a player, so is Jim McInally. So Tommy McLean certainly got men out on the pitch who have been in on the shaping of the strategy today. Petric. Weighted the pass beautifully for Cleland. The two former Dundee United men combining down the Rangers' right. Petric again, not quite so accurate with the pass towards Laudrup. Perry. Only Winters forward. Partly because Dundee United might just be starting to feel the pace that they put into the first 25 minutes, but also because they don't want to overcommit. McInally, who's telling me he's now fully fit again. When he actually came back to the club, he wasn't in match practice really, but he was pressed into the team in an emergency. Didn't do himself justice. Hopes those who know his game so well, and his long service in his first spell here, will see him at his best tonight. McLaren. All three, all rather congested, central towards the near post more. And the ball sailed over all three of them for Dundee United. Petric. Nice ball by Moore, well spotted. And, the player who received it in Ferguson was caught by Zetterlund. McInnes. Gascoigne needing a little bit of movement. He gets it in the end. Both McCoist and Ferguson. Ferguson's cross, and that's easy for the goalkeeper as big as Steve Dykstra.
Yeah, they had to be more driven than that. I think the idea was right. Nice little touch in from Gascoigne. Took it wide there in order to try and look at McCoist, who was making a diagonal run to the back post, but had to be driven in. Malpass.
Cleland able to capitalise on a slack piece of Dundee United play. Cleland's cut back, and Rangers are going to get a throw right by the corner flag.
Making a lot of good runs, Cleland, down the right-hand side, but he's really delivered the sort of pass that Rangers are looking for in the middle.
Laudrup, wonderful work to get to the byline for the cross. Even took some of his teammates by surprise that time, and they really should know better. Here he is again. And it thudded against Malpass. Rangers fans bellowing for handball. No real suggestion that that was the case, and it's a corner.
Well, making their own problems there, Dundee United, giving the ball away as easily as that, allowing Laudrup to run in, and good coming across with Malpass, reading the situation well and coming across to smother it for the corner.
More beating Winters, but Malpass coming out quickly. Winters across to apply some pressure on McInnes. Goff. Oh, there's a mistake that by Andy McLaren that he acknowledges straight away, and Davy Robertson very nearly presented with a great opportunity.
Well, I think he'll be a very relieved young man, Andy McLaren, because Robertson's read it, almost headed into his path, and unfortunately for Robertson it came off his thigh, or maybe closer to his knee, and broke too far in front of himself.
Only partly away by Goff for Bowman. Olofsson tying it away as he was fouled by Ferguson. He doesn't think the challenge merited the free kick.
Yeah, he's had a few fouls, Ian Ferguson. He's been involved in most of the challenges that have brought fouls this half. Nothing malicious at all about it. Trying to play the ball there, a bit late with the challenge on that occasion. He's given away a free kick in a dangerous area.
Well, making a chance against Rangers is often hard enough, but completing it all by beating Andy Gorham just adds to the difficulties. He's lined up a wall with 5 in it. A pretty central position. Kjell Olofsson having a good look at what angles might be favourable for Dundee United. He takes it, and he hit it really strongly as well. The wall stood firm. Pedersen. That's a good craft from Gascoigne, and also from Cleland. But all breaks down with McCoist. Zetterlund. Lars Zetterlund was with Gothenburg when they beat Dundee United here to win the UEFA Cup back in 1987. He's getting close to Gascoigne on plenty of occasions.
I don't think Gascoigne was too happy with Zetterlund. Had a little dig at him after he gone past him, but it's a good contest between the two. Zetterlund's right there all the time when Gascoigne's picking up the ball in those sort of deeper areas. It's
a foul by Presley on McCoist.
Equally dangerous area like the one that Dundee United just had as well.
Identical position.
Yeah, Rangers have an opportunity here. You've got Gascoigne there, who's a bit of a specialist from these. Laudrup may want to take it. Ferguson's got a very, very strong shot.
But the right of seniority seems to belong to Paul Gascoigne. So 32 minutes gone. Rangers looking for the first goal. What's been a very evenly contested game. Ferguson, who did get his first goal of the season on Saturday, couldn't supply his second.
I think he snatched at that a little bit too much there. Ferguson normally strikes the ball well from that sort of area, but I think, McLaren, I think it was just running across the front of him, put him off there as the ball came to him, and I think that he could see the goal quite, and that's what meant he leant back and knocked it over the bar. But a bit of a wasted free kick, to be honest with you. Same way Olafsson's won before, striking it straight into the wall. I like to see people at least trying to be inventive and try and curl it over the wall.
Well, in terms of attempts at goal, Dundee United lead the way. Just the one apiece on target.
Yeah, there's not been a lot of go-mouth action, to be fair. The keepers haven't had a lot to do so far. You know, both. I suppose that's a sign of the fact that both teams are getting a lot of defenders back as soon as they have to go and defend anything, and consequently no one is getting real goal-scoring chances.
Well, coming up for you on Sky Sports, on Sky Sports 3, on the Nationwide Football League, Preston against Blackpool, two famous old Lancashire clubs, and what will be a great night, I'm sure, in that part of the world. You can see it on Sky Sports 3 on Friday. On Sunday, the Bristol Derby. We're all over the place bringing you football this weekend. And then up Super Sunday at Roker Park, Sunderland against Chelsea. Chelsea still, despite what happened to them at Leeds, one of the best teams to watch these days. Here's Bowman. I do feel it's so important for the east of Scotland to have a representation in the power base of the Scottish game. It was 3 seasons when Dundee United were champions, and the next 2 seasons were Aberdeen. I don't know whether we'll ever see that sort of scenario again, but it was great credit to people like Jim McLean here and Alex Ferguson, of course. The Rangers-Celtic stranglehold was broken, but you only get it if you deserve it.
I think Andy McLaren is feeling the pain from that knock he got before on the face. He had a knock already, and I think he just remembered that there when he got another slight knock there, and he tends to lose his rag a little bit.
He had a little swing, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
With the leg. But Willie Young has handled matters here very calmly, the referee. Here's Loudon, pursued by Pedersen. Robertson again supporting on the inside. His attacking brief is a wide one, and
yeah, he gets well forward. I mean, he got in near post there. We've already seen him on quite a few occasions already. Just failed to get a pass that was meant for him as he ran through, but Rangers use him a lot getting forward. I mean, he plays in what you would call the wing-back position, and he does get into his position at times, but because of his pace, he gets forward too.
Here's Cleland getting forward as well. McCoist, back for Cleland again, the former Dundee United player, very nearly damaging his old club. Great play from Rangers, good stop. The second really of the half from Steve Dykstra. Here's Cleland again. McInnes, Loudrup, Dundee United have regrouped. That might mean very little with Loudrup on the ball. McCoist has missed his kick when others were wondering whether there might be a penalty. McCoist was certainly wondering about whether he was going to score, and now he's wondering how he missed it. All Loudrup inspired. Petric. Suddenly Rangers looking more dominant. Gascoigne. Moore. Robertson is an auxiliary attacker again. They're trying to let it run towards him. Cleland. And it's Olafsson who gets it away. Not very far. Comes back quickly from Goff. Cleland to pursue Perry here. Make it difficult for Dundee United again.
Well, it was a great piece of action. Look at Loudrup again, fantastic individual, close control, great 1-2, just stumbled, maybe just put up a McClaren get back with Ali McCoist, completely missed it in front of goal. tends to do that now and again, but you know, you can never discount the fact that he could go on and score a hat-trick after making a miss like that. It won't affect him one little bit.
No, not even in front of the man whose record he's broken, Gordon Wallace, as a member of the Dundee United coaching staff here. Petric. McInnes. Nicely picked the pass to Petric. It's coming straight back at Dundee United at the moment. Can't find a way out. Goff. Robertson, but he was leaning on. McLaren has got to try and curb those runs. There have been lots and lots of them from Davy Robertson.
It's been a good spell for Rangers. This decided to go there with a long ball to hit Robertson diagonal, but they have been controlling that midfield area, and Tommy McLean, I'm certain, can't be happy about his team. They're sitting too far in at times. They're only going to encourage Rangers and tell them if once they've won the ball, they don't get out and support the front men.
But they're supporting better this time. Perry supporting Winters. Going on, the central defender. McInally. Bowman. Back for Presley. Of course, had a spell in England with Coventry where his potential was recognised, but he found the Premiership a bit demanding in terms of the technique of his tackling. He kept getting himself into disciplinary problems, giving away penalties and the like. Dundee United paid a lot of money, £750,000 to bring him back to Scotland, to bring him to Tannadice. Now Olofsson, just trying to guide it for Winters. McInnes. Oh, Gascoigne gets lucky. It was Bowman who let the ball run to the Englishman, but then blocked the shot.
Yeah, it should have been intercepted, really, but Dave Bowman, I think, was caught on the back foot there as it came through to him, and he just tried to stretch it. Gascoigne knew exactly what he was doing here. He wanted just to shuffle onto that right foot and fire a ball to the far post.
Clement. Presley away from McInnes' cross. Ferguson. Surprised to see Robertson back at his own half. He plays a measured ball for Ferguson. And suddenly, right down the centre of the pitch, Rangers were making progress. Ferguson put his shot off target.
Yeah, he did well to make a little run in there, Ferguson. Just got himself free, knew exactly what he wanted to do there as he turned onto it. And by the time he got onto his right foot, though, he was closed down a bit with Presley coming out from the back, but it just screwed his shot wide. Not the best of efforts, really, from there.
McLaren, Winters chasing. Rangers have the technique to pass the ball out of trouble and to embroider the attack even more through Gascoigne's touch. Pedersen has become very popular in his short time at the club. McInnes. Now Laudrup. Appealing for offside against McCoist, but it wasn't given. There was no flag. Gascoigne. Been one or two things in the press, Gordon, today. Maurice Malpass quoted as saying he didn't think this was a great Rangers side, but they've got some great individuals within it, and that's why they're where they are in the league.
Yeah, I think you have to agree with that. The results haven't been terrific, and the performances haven't been great, especially when you go into the higher level of Europe. But it's still a very, very, very good Rangers team, and they do concentrate a lot on the great individuals they've got nowadays, Martin.
Malpass has been a great individual himself for Dundee United. His 18th season here. Recognising the need to get it forward in the end with half-time approaching. Presley. Malpass in the right place again to deal with Gascoigne's attempt to get the ball up to McCoist. Here's Olofsson. Winters a touch to Zetterlund. McLaren to the right. Zetterlund, who's certainly capable of striking for goal from there, is disappointed that he didn't hit it any better.
He was obviously quite confident about doing it. It was a good little move, touch into him, but I really think that he should have played it wide again, because McLaren had made a good run on the right-hand side and he'd drawn the defender in, and the ball was on, really was the ball. Keep the play going, play it out wide and get it on the right-hand side.
Another free kick given against McLaren. He has to back off again when he'd love to be taking Davy Robertson the other direction. Goff, now Petric. Gascoigne lifting it beyond Bowman beautifully. McCoist.
Well,
I think Dundee United will be glad to get to half-time.
Definitely.
0-0.
They've lost the midfield, man. They're under pressure, but great play by Gascoigne initially. Fired in with Davy Robertson. Good touch by McCoist, to be fair. He got himself free beautifully with that first touch in the box, and then he was almost slipping there as he tried to play it with his left foot. He's had some chances so far, Ali McCoist. Nothing is really going his way at the moment.
Which is often, of course, the prelude to him winning the game.
Seen it so often before, you're right. But great touch with Gascoigne. Gascoigne looks as if he's coming more and more into it as the first half's wearing on.
He's pressed right up here on the near side to get the ball from Ferguson. Petric. Oh, and that was an important intervention by Malpass. McCoist would have been onside. As we go into time added on. First half in which Rangers started slowly, but have upped the pace. Bowman. Both coming back. And getting the better of Malpass. Two veterans there. Pedersen on for Olofsson. Flag went up. Surprisingly against Winters. It didn't matter because Rangers had the ball. The assistant on the far side getting his ears warmed by some comments from the Dundee United regulars in that part of the ground. Laudrup, Cleland, Gascoigne by the far post. And, no risk taken at this stage by Bowman.
Good passing move by Rangers having won it. I think the linesman did well to his flag up. The referee chose to ignore it, which is the right thing to do as well if there's no advantage in it. The ball, once again, Cleland getting into good position. That is a better cross this time, but McCoist was struggling to get up there, and Gascoigne had peeled away to the back post.
Danger here on half-time to Dundee United. McInnes. Won't get to Gascoigne. Important play by McLaren. And persistent play as well. And that brings the half to a close. It's been very well contested as Rangers improved. Sid Dijkstra on his home debut has made a couple of very important blocks. And Ali McCoist has had the sort of chance that he would take 9 times out of 10. He hasn't taken the one tonight, and at half-time at Tannadice, it's Dundee United 0, Rangers 0. Dundee United to start the second half at home. They've had a problem scoring goals. They've beaten Hearts here, they've beat Aberdeen here. But they feel their better performances, particularly recently at Motherwell and Kilmarnock, have come on their travels. But here's an opportunity, if they can just grasp the nettle, to have a major influence in in what's happening at the top of the table, as well as further their own cause. Goff heading away, but the first half certainly drew to a close, with Rangers looking more and more threatening with each passing minute. Tommy McLean's had the chance to talk his players through those difficulties, and we'll see whether he comes up with anything different for the second half. At the moment, Bowman is tracking Gascoigne everywhere he goes, well away from the ball, which is with Loudra.
I think Tommy McLean will have been stressing the fact that it's all very well to sit back and get behind the ball when Rangers have got it, but as soon as you win the ball back, you can't afford to sit in. It's always a problem with defenders. They don't want to pull too far forward.
Some more going in. McInally had problems and needed some help from Zetterlund. Here's Goff. To remind you again, a Rangers win and they would be 8 points clear, +3 tonight, 11, and they have the chance with 2 more games before Celtic play again to be a staggering 17 points in front. But that's all theory, as you're seeing as this game maps out in front of you. The practice is altogether different, and it's difficult at times for the league leaders here.
Yeah, I think we need to remember though that during that spell Aberdeen could get themselves into second place, so although Rangers may be 17 points clear of Celtic, they wouldn't necessarily be 17 points clear at the top of the league, man.
Here's Gascoigne. With all these speculations, remember we were talking a few weeks ago about Celtic possibly being 9 points clear, and that didn't happen. Here they are, 8 points adrift, and it's still nowhere near the halfway mark in the season. And Walter Smith has been just trying to get that sort of talk away from his players and let them treat each game on its merits.
Yeah, they have to do that. The thing about it is though that already the other sides are depending on Rangers losing matches while they're winning theirs, and it's a hard task as it is, because Rangers don't lose that many matches as we've seen in the last couple of seasons.
It's just one defeat in the league this season, and that was a defeat they could have spared themselves from if they'd have been more efficient from the penalty spot against Hibs. But here's a chance for Dundee United to be efficient at a free kick. Olofsson waiting, Winters waiting, and McLaren being encouraged by the referee to get on with the taking. He's still not right in his own mind yet. And it comes now. This is Zetterlund. Pass for Gorham. It goes with the fist. It's a strong one. Retrieved by McInally. Puts it back in quickly. Olofsson, not a bad tackle. Gascoigne! Well, it was McLaren who forced the save. And Andy Gorham sparing the blushes of Paul Gascoigne. Too casual in his own penalty area. Bowman. Dundee United trying to get the bit between their teeth here. Presley. McInally's ball in was part of that attack that nearly saw Dundee United taking the lead.
Yeah, some worrying moments for Rangers, and really Gascoigne, it's all very well to have composure in the box, but this is taking it a stage too far. You don't know what's behind you there. The idea is just to hit it away. A player of his experience should know that, really, and almost paid the price for being casual.
Andy Gorham's had little to do since the opening seconds of the game in terms of direct efforts at goal, but that was a very important save in the context of the match. Pedersen. Zetterlund found by Winters. Well, a couple couple of ricochets there. The corner's been given.
Yeah, good quick break again from Dundee United. They're getting that Rangers left-hand side. Nice touch off there, and it definitely was a corner, I think. But you know, they've started the second half. Just shows you the difference that a break at half-time can make.
Goff put it back where it came from. McLaren overdrawing that time, and another corner. Poland on duty as Presley came in beyond the far post.
Had to win it as well. It was a good one to get away, but it's another corner. Rangers under pressure again.
And Zetterlund, who's got this bearing of a soldier, really upright carriage, and he gets up well for the headers as well. Robertson pushing on. As Dundee United were reflecting on this brisk start to the second half. Ferguson. Gascoigne. Bowman for company. Petric. Gascoigne again. Petric again. Maurice Malpas came out at the right time. He's got to think about defending again. McCoist just allowing Presley to get a boot in. Laudrup for Robertson. Corner. Zetterlund had to be very alert then. It could have been a very threatening ball from David Robertson.
Yeah, it's amazing how often he gets in front of his forwards, Robertson, from that left-back position. Once again in the box here, firing it across, and a good block by Zetterlund.
Gascoigne's corner. And it's another one on the other side, which he's going to take as well.
I think Olafsson there was the one who just won it there in front of Moore, who was attacking the back post. So the pressure's gone from one side of the field to the other, and Rangers for the first time in this second half coming back into the match.
Petric on the edge of the area. Moore as well, and of course Richard Goff right in the thick of things. And McLaren stopping Laudrup, setting himself for a volley. Well, it's a real test of the discipline and attitude of the players on both sides here. Over the 53 minutes that we've had. Very little between the two teams. Rangers threatening without delivering as the first half came to a close. Threatening here again. Oh, and a mistake by Bowman, and McCoist almost made the most of it after Laudrup seemed to have given the ball away, and then Dundee United gave it back to McCoist.
Yeah, Laudrup was struggling there. Nice turn by him, but he was trying to bust forward, trying to find a pass, I think. Under pressure there, Peterson poked it in, and Bowman set it up for Ali McCoist, and there wasn't much in that.
Rangers 14 games in the league, they've won 11 and just drawn 2, and the one defeat that we mentioned earlier. So you can see in the context of what's gone before this season, Dundee United are doing pretty well, but they know that the special talents of Laudrup and Gascoigne could surface at any second, and all the good work could count for nothing. Another Gascoigne corner. And Dijkstra came through the crowd. He at least made his presence felt without really mopping it up, and suddenly there's a run on here for Robbie Winters. Support is a bit late coming, but it is coming. He waits and waits and picks a super pass. Oh, it's just too wide for Perry to go on directly at goal. He'd done very well to get there. A little bit more precision, And the marauding defender would have been cleaning at Gorham. He crosses now. Game suddenly spread.
There was a good break with Dundee United. It was the pass, the accuracy of the pass just wasn't there, but the vision was good. Terrific run by Perry to get up alongside his forwards there. And if the pass had been better, he would have been in behind goal. But it was a long ball, basically played using the pace of Winters to get away from Cleon there. And said he turns inside, does well, and he picks out the exactly right pass here. But look at that, just too much weight on it.
Presley keeping watch on McCoist. Well, Robertson has got a very long throw, and no one's coming for a short one. Dykstra the biggest problem with his teammate Presley.
That's what he likes to do. He likes to come for everything. He did that at Motherwell, as I said earlier in the game, that he just comes and takes everything in the air, and it's a great help to your defenders if you can do that, because at least you know where you are. It's the keepers that stay in the line sometimes and come other times that are the big problem.
By Gorham up towards McCoist. Gets the ball from Cleland. Laudrup looking offside, but allowed to go on. He's gone behind for a corner. Pedersen having a word with the assistant referee on the far side about Laudrup's positioning.
Yeah, my first thought about it was that he was offside, but I think
I'm not so sure. No. It was Pedersen, in fact, who was the guilty man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think my first thought was that he was, but I think that Laudrup taken it absolutely perfectly.
Dykstra again, but he didn't get there this time. Craig Moore was coming in with great purpose.
Good ball from Gascoigne as well, swung away from the keeper.
Ferguson was it who made contact?
Yeah, Tice Dykstra off his line, but the curl was always going away from him.
Winters.
Well, it's back to being an even contest, Martin. At least they're pushing up now, Dundee United, in the second half when they're winning the ball. They're getting forward, getting support in there, and I think Tommy McLean will be a lot happier than he was at the end of that first half.
Pedersen allowed to go quite a long way by Rangers. Pedersen's cross, it's a weak one, but a weak clearance by McInnes. McLaren picked out by Zetterland. Robertson was simply struck by the attempted cross. Gascoigne, nicely done. Well, McLaren was trying the referee's patience in the first half, and there's no escape this time. It's a yellow card.
Yeah, I think that he got caught wrong side as well. Robertson made a little run in behind him. I think that was the frustration of knowing that Robertson was going to get away from him, and he looks like he's carrying a bit of an injury as well, McLaren. But he has worked very, very hard up that right-hand side. There's a lot of work to do, especially chasing back. Robertson always willing to get forward, and there may be a position that Tom McLean might think of changing.
Yes, as you said at the outset, Gordon, he's not really a defender, Andy McLaren. Thanks to watching that go wide from Petric, whether it was an attempt to catch him out.
Yeah, it may have been. I'm not sure what he was trying to do. I don't think it was a pass to Andy, so he may have been trying to shoot from there.
Let's give him the credit and say he didn't.
Yeah. But I think that, you know, if they're going to make a change, it may be Andy McLaren. He has worked very hard. He's had a hard shift on that right-hand left-hand side to come to chase back with Robertson most of the time.
And now he's been booked, of course, so another potential weakness because of that. Perry puts it out. Throw to Rangers. An hour gone at Tannadice. And nothing between Dundee United and the side trying to go 11 points clear at the top. Remember, Rangers 7-1 on favourites for the championship. And they might shorten those odds even more here. Good stop by Dijkstra, and he got to it again before McCoist could pounce. Ferguson drilled it low, and Dundee United, who'd been a little sloppy in their own half in the first place, could have lost a crucial goal here.
Yeah, they gave it away again. Good pressurising from Ferguson initially. I don't think he knew where the ball was at first, but he drove in a good shot. And the thing was, it spun off Dijkstra towards Alan McCoist, and fortunately for the keeper, it didn't have enough pace on it to get towards McCoist, because he was getting in the end of it.
Oh, Winters! Now, Craig Moore might be a bit lucky here. The referee's not given the penalty.
Yeah, I think it could have been, to be honest with you. I think Craig Moore knew he was beaten, and he was falling over, but I think he fell over in exactly the right direction. Once he realised what was happening, he threw himself
across. Fell into Winters.
Yes, but I think there was he probably considered it intelligent play by him, and he's got away with it as well, because I'm certain that it was deliberate.
Rangers fortunate. Dundee United have a free kick here, but a few seconds ago the majority in Tannadice felt that they should have had a penalty. McLaren having a look at the angles. Bowman's gone across. Winters and Moore rejoining the battle. McLaren takes it. Was Zetterland, and he thought he was being shoved, and looked as though it came off his head.
Yeah, it was a bit of
corner.
Bit of pushing again, Martin, as that ball split to the back post there. We're both at it, and I think it was Zetterland actually headed it wide in the end.
Well, it quite clearly was. Yeah. Bowman to put it back in. Robertson. Gascoigne now. Rangers might be able to break here. Robertson being asked to gallop on, but McLaren was where his side needed him. Off goes Winters again. Gonna run with Moore, but there's no chance of catching this one. Goff. Gascoigne. Here's Moore. Linking up well. Good timing between the run and the pass. Back for Gascoigne. Robertson. Well, if it isn't going to be McCoist, if Rangers get a goal, David Robertson would be pretty much next to the line.
I think it's Perry's, Mark Perry's coming off, and Duffy going on. That's an interesting substitution. Duffy is more, he has played at the back, but he's more of a midfield player really than Perry, so it must mean a reshuffling, I would think, for Dundee United's defence. It looks to me as if Zetterland is going to move back into a more defensive area, and Duffy will take his place in the middle of midfield.
Neil Duffy has finally become a first teamer at Dundee United. He was here 10 years ago, over from South Africa, where he'd been brought up, son of a former Scottish professional player who went out presumably to extend his career in the league in South Africa. A lot of players did towards the end of their careers, including Richard Goff's father, who used to play for Charlton. This is Winters, now McLaren. Oh, Gorham's coming, and the ball's gone in! Oh my goodness! Rangers hang their heads, and even the most experienced can falter when the pressure's on, because the cross was teased in by McLaren, and Goff and Gorham going for the same ball. It hits Richard Goff on the head. It's an own goal, and Dundee United, who must have felt worried about not getting the penalty, have got a big stroke of luck here. They lead.
Yeah, Richard Goff didn't know anything about this at all. He was relying on his keeper, who came across his line of sight here, missed it completely, and he's gone for the punch, Andy Gorham. A difficult one to decide whether he did the right thing to come for it or not, but having come for it, he had to make it. Missed the ball completely. Richard Goff didn't see it coming, hits his head, goes into the net. Gives Rangers a real uphill task at the moment, because Dundee United, basically their tactics are working, and if they can sit in and hold on to this lead, then it's an uncomfortable night for Rangers.
Well, there's still a quarter of the game to go, and what a game it is now. Here's Moore. Gascoigne. That's Ferguson, and that will be a corner.
Well, that could have gone anywhere, really. It was a good strike, Vex, and the main thing about it was low, it was hard, there was power in it, and there was a lot of defenders in front of him, and when you are playing against a packed defence, it's worthwhile now and again trying a first-time effort.
Moore and Dijkstra was nowhere near it as Petric got to it.
Well, he's helping his defenders out by coming, but as in the case of Andy Gorham, that's 2 in a row he's come for and hasn't got to either the two of them, and there've been one and headed beyond the goals, but fortunately they're able to put 3 people on the line, because Dijkstra does come for all the set pieces, but you really have to be careful. It only takes a slip like the one Andy Gorham just had to make sure that the ball ends up in the net.
Well, what would it be, more than 10 years since Richard Goff last scored for Dundee United?
It might be, back at his old club again. I think it's more than 10 years since Andy Gorham made a mistake like that as well. I haven't seen him ever do that before.
Well, Rangers trying to put together a rescue package here. Petric. You feel that there's some psychological battles going on as well. Dundee United have got to keep their belief, keep doing what they've done well in the game that's brought them this far. The side that struggled to score at home since their return to the Premier Division have been presented with a goal here. And are they good enough now to see it through for a famous victory?
Well, you can't say on the balance of the second half they haven't deserved to be in front, because they have picked it up. Tommy McLean's half-time words have obviously done the trick, because it's been a much better second half performance. They've got themselves in that lead now, and it's a question of whether they sit back and play out, trying to win 1-0, catch Rangers in the break maybe for a second goal, or whether they continue to play the way they've been playing.
Ferguson. Rangers needing to play like champions now. With Gascoigne. Winters, who's not stopped running and has worried the life out of those at the back, and at times I think it's said about Robbie Winters that he's not the most physical of strikers, but he's pumped up by a match of this magnitude, and he's really getting stuck in.
Yeah, he's desperate to do well. He's not the most physical, but he is very, very pacey, and at this stage of the game that can come in really handy for Dundee United, because Rangers are going to be putting pressure on them.
Well, Walter Smith is going to change things from the bench. Gives us a chance to have another look at the goal.
Yeah, it's a good ball driven in. It's one Andy Gorham thinks he can get there, and it probably put off with I think it was Zetterlund that was going in, or Olofsson I think it was, attacking it, and just took his eye off the ball, missed his punch, and very fortuitous bounce off Richard Goff's head. But as I say, it's the kind of cross that has been causing Rangers problems. They've lost a lot of goals from cross balls this season, much more than I've seen them in the past, and they've definitely suffered in that respect defensively.
Well, let's just tell you about the substitutions. Trevor Stephen is on, wearing number 12. happily fit again after a lengthy layoff. Derek McInnes and Ali McCoist gone off. Eric Bow Anderson is the other entrant. And Rangers are a goal down. Gascoigne. Laudrup. That's one of those bewildering runs. Olofsson, only Winters to find, but he's done that, and he puts Olofsson away. He might go in on goal here. He didn't really approach it with true conviction. Petric was labouring to keep up with him.
Yeah, he certainly was. I just wondered, the lovely ball played through Winters. I just wondered if he was letting Petric come up close so he could turn inside him for a better angle on his right-hand side, but it really was tight when he pushed that far wide on the left, and it was going to take a special shot to beat Andy Gorham from that sort of angle.
Laudrup. Now Robertson. And the game's got to be stopped here.
Yeah, it must be a head knock. It's got to be a head knock, because the refs don't normally allow the trainers to come on that quick. No, he's booking David Robertson. He must think it was a deliberate kick in the head.
Well, he must have felt that he could have pulled out of it. There.
Yeah. I think the ref's got a case here, actually, but put his knee up into his face here, and it's a sore one that Duffy's got.
The strapping lad, Neil Duffy, but he certainly caught the force of Robertson's knee then. Coming up for you on Sky Sports Friday night from the Nationwide Football League, Preston against Blackpool on Sky Sports 3. Also Sky Sports 3 on Sunday for the Bristol Derby, well worth watching. And then on Sky Sports 1, our Super Sunday presentation for you, Peter Reid's Sunderland against Ruud Gullit's Chelsea. Well, there's some serious concern for Neil Duffy here, who's only just come into the game. And might take no further part in it.
Yeah, it was a bad challenge from David Robertson. There's no way you can deny that. I mean, he's followed through there on the play, having lost the ball, put his knee up. I'm certain he didn't expect or want to hurt him in this manner, but there's obviously some problems there. I mean, the doctor's on there, the stretcher's out, and it's a sight in football that we hate to see. He could actually be knocked out cold.
So the substitute has to be substituted.
Yeah, that was obviously a very, very bad knock to his face, and he's obviously going to take no further part in this game, and let's hope he's okay. But McKinnon is going to come on. It's a shame Neil Duffy just into the match, and he has to go off.
And Ray McKinnon's a very different type of player, a touch player in midfield. Well, applause all round Tannadice from Neil Duffy. McKinnon involved straight away. McInally. McKinnon, who can hit them with either foot. Gascoigne. Just getting underneath that one effectively. The long stoppage is hard for both sides, really, just to pick up the rhythm.
Yeah, it is a bit, especially for Dundee United, Mark, who are doing the better of the two teams. They they have also lost a player, and that can upset your pattern as well.
Moore. Now Petric. Cleland. Now Winters to be the focal point again as they break out Dundee United, but McKinnon slipped. Here's Anderson, Dane, adding to the Scandinavian flavour of the evening.
There's talk of Bo Anderson leaving, Martin, going abroad as well, going I think to Portugal. So maybe seen him for the last time in the Rangers jersey tonight. Certainly hasn't set the heather on fire here in Scotland at all in his performance. He scored a few goals when he came at first, but he's not been consistent at all.
Well, I think over the next few months there's going to be a lot of changes at Rangers. As we've mentioned to you many times in the past this season, the supporters demand this 9th title to be won in a row to match Celtic's achievement. Something of a millstone around the neck for those running the club, who would like to just build on in the natural fullness of time. Gascoigne. And here's Stephen. Laudrup. Oh! And it wouldn't have counted. The flag was up. It was a miss, the like of which we now describe as of Van Vossen proportions if you watch the last Old Firm game. But I do think that the linesman puts his flag up here, maybe just putting his flag up to say it's a goal kick.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think that was offside at all. Great work by Gascoigne, held it up beautifully, put a lovely ball to Trevor Stevens. Stephen tried to return the compliment, cut it back, and I think that is a miss. I don't think that was offside at all. I think that got to be considered. I don't know if it's quite as bad as Peter Van Vossen's against Celtic, but certainly a bad miss nevertheless.
Well, it didn't matter to Van Vossen because Rangers won the game, but tonight Rangers are losing. McLaren forward towards Winters. Seems to have got his legs back, Andy McLaren. He was flagging, looked as though he was carrying an injury. He's still going strong. And there's only one more substitute available for Tommy McLean. That's Gary McSwiggan. Winters, good tackle by Moore. Pressed by Pedersen. There's a Norwegian international. He's not played for his country since 1992. Not a favourite of Egil Olsen. Ferguson. And again, spare man is Anderson. Well, the shot was going nowhere. He was able to get his shot in. It actually hit Maurice Malpas. It would have missed the goal by another goal's width again. Gascoigne.
Yeah, he did well, Anderson. He did well to open up the goals for himself, man. But as you say, from our angle, it was obviously from miles wide. Gascoigne is doing his best at this moment to try and lift Rangers. I think he realises it's either he or Laudrup are the two players who are most liable to do something.
And he's always liable to do something at a free kick, but Dijkstra can grab that one.
Dijkstra had somebody running across the front of this, and him and a real troublesome one for Dijkstra to take, but fortunately he was able to come and just hold it there in the first attempt. But it's a good free kick from Gascoigne.
Moore, Goff. When you're looking at the time at the top of your screen, remember there's going to be a lot of stoppage time to be added on for the injury to Neil Duffy. So the Still time for Rangers to get something from this game. Still time for them to turn it totally around. And Richard Gough is trying to do that with obviously extra incentive. Neil Duffy, we hear, has gone to hospital with suspected concussion. Rangers have got a different sort of headache. Oh, and Gorham has sliced it away over Petric. Olofsson, not quite sure of what to do. Maybe that's fatigue coming in. Gascoigne. Now Laudrup. Robertson joining Anderson in the centre. Laudrup taking on Pedersen, who gets a toe to it and concedes the corner, and he did well to do that. That's when Laudrup was just capable of ripping a defence apart.
He's done well, Pedersen, one or two of those situations in this second half, Martin. The one-on-ones, the ones where, as you say, are liable to be skinned.
And Dijkstra is having some adventures, isn't he? And Craig Moore at the back post. Goalkeeper fighting through the crowd but not getting there.
Yeah, he's claiming a free kick, but really he's just running out into a number of players. That's 3 in a row he hasn't got to, and then it could have cost his club dearly because the headers are all off target though, but he really should be doing a bit better. If he's going to come, he's got to time the crosses a bit better. His defence are standing aside to let him come for them as well.
Yeah, there were 3 on the line behind him. Well, living on the brink at times, Dundee United, but they have looked more attack-minded in the second half. They've had the better moments. Obviously the goal of a freakish nature. Goes Presley. Anderson. McInally trying to get a tackle in. Ferguson switching the point of attack back to the Rangers' right. All Rangers get is a throw. Ferguson urgently across to get the ball. Cleland wanting to take it quickly. No one quite arriving to receive it, although Stephen does now. Ferguson. They've got to really be more precise than that with a goalkeeper, despite his misadventures at times off his line. Dijkstra still a potentially commanding figure. Now here's Olofsson. Well, it's in his nature to shoot from anywhere, and one or two of his teammates are a bit disappointed with him for making that decision this time.
Yeah, I think he did the right thing. It's just that no direction in the shot. He was leaning back a bit, but it shows you there when he was quite willing to hit it with his right foot. It makes you wonder why the chance he had before when he was wide, he didn't use the opportunity to come in onto his right foot and make a better angle for himself when he was in closer to goal.
Laudrup. Pedersen, like a dog with a bone, he won't let go. And he's got to maintain that. But Laudrup crosses. There was another sickening clash. Dijkstra is hurt.
And it was Trevor Stephen, I'm not sure. It may have been Trevor Stephen that was getting in on that one.
Yes, it was.
Once again, the keeper coming there. We've got to count that as 4 in a row he's failed to reach, but doing just maybe enough to put Rangers forwards off or the attacking players off. And Stephen, a little flick on there, just touching Dijkstra and away from the corner. So the pressure's still on Dundee United, but you know I'm not sure if the keeper's got much of a blow there. I think he's needing a bit of sympathy for the fact that he hasn't got to any of these crosses.
Just to remind you, in Scotland it's 3 subs and 3 named, so very rarely do you find a substitute goalkeeper on the bench. And it's certainly not the case tonight, but Dijkstra's okay. And will Gascoigne put it right in if the goalkeeper's still a bit shaken? It's a reflex effort from Anderson. And it's another one off target.
Keeper decided this time to stay. Got a little bit no man's land, but decided that he wasn't going to make it 5 in a row and decided just to stay on his line.
Well, off comes Robbie Winters, who can be very pleased with his work this evening. And Gary McSwegan, who started with Rangers, then went down to England with Notts County. He's very quick up front. If there's any overcommitment by Rangers, he might find somewhere to dart away and wrap it up for Dundee United. Well, the flag has gone up and it's stayed up, and the referee...
Offside,
he had a good look at it, didn't he, Willie Young, the referee, and then the decision was made later than you might have expected. And there are 2 minutes plus stoppage time to go, but we would expect, well, at least 3 or 4 minutes of time to be added on. Touched on by McSwegan. Back by Goff. Gorham's touch had to be good, and it was, because Olofsson was coming in. Laudrup. And there is Pedersen. And he's fouled, and there's perhaps an appropriate incident over there for you to name your man of the match, Gordon.
Yeah, I think that this player we're looking at now has summed up Dundee United tonight. He's worked really hard. He's had to change position. Eventually had to go and mark Brian Laudrup, Rangers' real danger man, and I feel he snuffed him out for most of this match. I feel it's a fantastic game. Man of the match for me, Eric Pedersen. Let's hope we can speak English.
Have you ever come across a Norwegian who can't? Malpass. Here's Petric. Well, let's make no bones about it. If it is going to be a win for Dundee United, it is for them that the situation vis-a-vis Celtic, of course, will be in a lot of people's minds. But it isn't a win confirmed yet, because Rangers put the ball forward towards Anderson. Moore is right in there, but it bounces harmlessly through. Another potential crisis averted.
A lot of bodies back in that box for Dundee United there, and they were all taking charge, and that's what comes of being in front at this stage of the game. They know there's only seconds left, and they just got to concentrate to hold on.
This is McLaren. Olofsson and McSwegan in the middle. And all Petric can do is put it behind for a corner, which they won't be in any great rush to take.
Terrific ball from McLaren. It looks as if at the moment he can hardly run. I think he's suffering from injuries, fatigue, but he's had a very, very good game on the right-hand side, and he's a lot of work to do. I thought he might not have lasted the 90 minutes because of that work. He's turned it around, and even David Robertson, isn't getting forward as much at this stage of the game. I think he's having to concentrate on stopping McLaren playing.
Well, in the circumstances, Dundee United have pushed quite a few players forward. There's 4, including Presley, who's coming in from deep here and got his head to it. Zetterland. Is the time for Rangers in the second minute of stoppage time, and Gascoigne has not had one of his best nights. Goff. whose own goal remains the difference between the two sides, but Laudrup beyond Pedersen. Well, we talked about the incident at one end, we've got one at the other now, Gordon.
Yeah, definitely a free kick. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Laudrup got him through in that position just between the two of them. I think he was on his way. No doubt in my mind he's brought down just outside the box, and I can't believe the referee has let that go.
And now something's been said. Rangers unhappy about what they saw at the other end.
I think Brian Laudrup had words with the referee there.
Well, I think had he given the free kick, Pedersen would have been off as well. That's the other factor.
Yeah, he possibly could have been just voted a man of the match and he'd been off the field. But very often,
yellow card for Laudrup.
Yeah, that's just for having a go. He definitely feels that he's been hard done by the referee's decision there.
Pressley, great jump. Laudrup taking Pedersen with him again and past him and getting it across, and it needed more, and it was Stephen Pressley, the player who really was patched up to perform tonight against his first club and hasn't let Dundee United down at all. It's in the no-go area in the ground, except if you happen to be a player retrieving the ball, as Robertson is. Oh, and where's Dykstra coming to this time? Oh, and it's a corner, and Dundee United haven't got their win yet. Rangers are not beaten yet. We're into the 4th minute of time added on, and plenty of reason for that time to be added on. Gascoigne to take the corner. Out by McLaren. And the referee indicating to anyone who wants to watch, maybe Tommy McLean in particular, that the stretcher gesture he made, saying, I've got to add a time on for the injury to poor Neil Duffy. But Neil Duffy will feel a great deal better if he gets news in the hospital that the game is won. Rangers beaten at Tannadice. Richard Gough's own goal, the former Dundee United player. Only their 2nd league defeat of the season. A terrific night for the Tangerines. A tremendous result for Tommy McLean. And of course for Celtic, whose chances of catching up have been improved. A new feel to Dundee United these days. Promotion followed by a change of management. The side strengthened from Scandinavia. And tonight, great proof of recent progress. Walter Smith warned his team about counting up points before they're earned. Rangers still 8 points clear of Celtic, but they've now played 1 game more. Quite a turn-up at Tannadice. Dundee United 1, Rangers 0.
David, Dundee United have done tonight what very few have managed so far this season. Do you think that result was just about right over the piece?
I think we matched them. We went about our tactics, and a lot of us had jobs to do that they weren't sort of glamorous jobs in the game, but we went about it, we all fought for one another, and at the end of the day we got the 3 points, which, yeah, it was a great result for us.
It's a remarkable record that you've now managed to put together, just 1 defeat in your last 10 league matches. Is this the time now where United should reappraise their targets and perhaps be starting to aim for a place in the top half of the division?
I think we always have. I think even under Billy Kirkwood, our old manager, I mean, we had everything going with him. He was really unfortunate with a few bad results, and this time around we're winning by the odd goal, whereas last time when Billy was in charge at the start of the season, he was really unfortunate that we're losing by the odd goal. But yeah, we've been happy with the way that we've been playing, and hopefully we can carry on to the end of the season.
Well, I think we can bring in Erik Pedersen now. Erik, how did you find the pace out there tonight, first of all?
Oh, it was a very tough job for the whole team, but I think we managed very well.
How much of the recent success here at Tannadice is down to the team spirit, which is so evident just now?
The team spirit's mean everything, so that's the whole game for us. We can't just play one-on-one. We have to play as a unit, and we did that very well.
A wonderful night then for Dundee United. Perhaps even the possibility of a run on a place in Europe in the new year. We shall see. Here's the top of the table then. Rangers still with the 8-point advantage, but Celtic and Aberdeen certainly breathe a little easier after this result. Dundee United now up to 5th. Before I leave you, just to remind you about the action coming up this weekend. Sky Sports 3, Friday night football at 7 in Division 2 in the Nationwide Football League. Preston against Blackpool. On to Sunday and the Bristol Derby, lunchtime. Midday start for Bristol City against Bristol Rovers in Division 2 once more. The Premiership action in England, Super Sunday from Roker Park. Sunderland against Chelsea, Sky Sports 1 at 3. And the Monday night football from the baseball ground. Derby County against Everton, 7 o'clock start time there. Hope very much you've enjoyed it. You never really know, do you? Rangers now beaten twice. They're still on top in Scotland, but it may yet be hard work for them. Bye for now.
All men of substance, we're such a bleeding nuisance with your lifestyle solutions. And you tell me, no stop to mention. And I didn't ask any questions, but you forced on intention.